Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for July 17th, read by Sarah M. from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA. AA Thoughts for the Day. Love. For me, AA is a synthesis of all the philosophy I've ever read, all of the positive good philosophy, all of it based on love. I have seen that there is only one law, the law of love, and there are only two sins. The first is to interfere with the growth of another human being, and the second is to interfere with one's own growth. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 542. Thought to consider. When we love, we see in others what we wish to have in ourselves. AA acronyms: HALT, hope, acceptance, love, tolerance. Just for today, pass it on, from Preface. I'll never forget the first time I met Bill Wilson. I was a couple of months sober and so excited, so thrilled to actually meet the co-founder that I gushed all over him with what my sobriety meant to me and my undying gratitude for his starting AA. When I ran down, he took my hand in his and said simply, "Pass it on." 1984, AAWS Inc., Pass It On, page 7. Daily Reflections, Surrender and Self-Examination. My stability came out of trying to give, not out of demanding that I receive. Thus, I think it can work out with emotional sobriety. If we examine every disturbance we have, great or small, we will find at the root of it some unhealthy dependency and its consequent unhealthy demand. Let us, with God's help, continually surrender these hobbling demands. Then we can be set free to live and love. We may be able to 12th step ourselves and others into emotional sobriety. The Language of the Heart, page 238. Years of dependency on alcohol as a chemical mood changer deprived me of the capability to interact emotionally with my fellows. I thought I had to be self-sufficient, self-reliant, and self-motivated in a world of unreliable people. Finally, I lost my self-respect and was left with dependency, lacking any ability to trust myself or to believe in anything. Surrender and self-examination while sharing with newcomers helped me to ask humbly for help. As Bill sees it, tell the public. AAs of worldly prominence sometimes say, "If I tell the public that I am in Alcoholics Anonymous, then that will bring in many others." Thus they express the belief that our anonymity tradition is wrong, at least for them. They forget that, during their drinking days, prestige and the achievement of worldly ambition were their principal aims. They do not realize that by breaking anonymity, they are unconsciously pursuing those old and perilous illusions once more. They forget that the keeping of one's anonymity often means a sacrifice of one's desire for power, prestige, and money. They do not see that if these strivings became general in AA, the course of our whole history would be changed, that we would be sowing the seeds of our own destruction as a society. Yet I can happily report that while many of us are tempted, and I have been one, few of us in America actually break our anonymity at the public media level. Letter, 1958. A clear light seems to fall upon us all when we open our eyes. Since our blindness is caused by our own defects, we must first deeply realize what they are. Constructive meditation is the first requirement for each new step in our spiritual growth. Letter, 1946. Big Book quote, "We never apologize to anyone for depending upon our Creator. We can laugh at those who think spirituality the way of weakness. Paradoxically, it is the way of strength. The verdict of the ages is that faith means courage. All men of faith have courage. They trust their God. We never apologize for God. Instead, we let him demonstrate through us what he can do. We ask him to remove our fear and direct our attention to what he would have us be. At once, we commence to outgrow fear. Alcoholics Anonymous, How It Works, page 68. 24 hours a day. AA thought for the day. The new life of sobriety we are learning to live in AA is slowly growing on us, and we are beginning to get some of that deep peace of mind and serenity that we never thought were possible. At first, we may have doubted that this could happen to us, but after any considerable length of time in AA, looking at the happy faces around us, we know that somehow it is happening to us. In fact, it cannot help happening to anyone who takes the AA program seriously day by day. Can I see my own happiness reflected in the faces of others? Meditation for the day. God does not withhold his presence from you. He does not refuse to reveal more of his truth to you. He does not hold back his spirit from you. He does not withhold the strength that you need. His presence, his truth, his spirit, his strength are always immediately available to you whenever you are fully willing to receive them. But they may be blocked off by selfishness, intellectual pride, fear, greed, and materialism. We must try to get rid of these blocks and let God's Spirit come in. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may remove all blocks that are keeping me from God. I pray that I may let God come into my life with power. Hazelden Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Center City, Minnesota, 55012. My name is Sarah, and I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952, 1957, 1967, 1973, 1975, 1976, 1980, 1981, 1984, 1985, 1988, 1990, or 2001.